My name is Rafael Mateo. I'm a researcher at the Institute for Game and Wildlife Research in Ciudad Real in Spain. Lead is a toxic metal for life. It doesn't have any function in the living organism, so it is toxic for all of us, even for the plants. Lead ammunition tends to contaminate the soil, the sediment, or in that case in the wetlands, especially in areas that have been heavily hunted with a lot of density of lead shot pellets in the soil. The problem is for many of the waterbirds, they tend to ingest the lead shot when they are finding or trying to find some grit particles, little stones or grit or sand, and they confuse these lead shot pellets with the sand that they need. Or they can even confuse the lead shot with some seeds or some food.
My name is Niels. I'm a Danish hunter and a wildlife biologist. Normally when I use my shotgun hunting for like what we are here for pigeon shooting or pheasant shooting, I use steel shot. That's more than 30 years now. When I started hunting as a youngster, we used lead shot, but in that period there was increasing demand to use non-lead, so I've been a part of that history. So at least during the last 25 years I've been using non-lead shot. From the beginning the hunters were very much against this proposal. They didn't realize that there was a problem and they were concerned about if there was any kind of alternative to lead shot. The status in Denmark today is that lead shot for any type of hunting in any kind of habitat is prohibited. And even the possession, also the trade of lead shot cartridges is banned to be able to control the regulation on a higher level. When it comes to shooting bullets, meaning using a rifle, for instance, for deer hunting, there's also concern about lead ammunition because lead bullets may also cause intoxication of wildlife and even humans. So there's a concern about that now, and there's a movement now that hunters in more countries try to use non-lead rifle bullets, and I've been doing that now for 4 years.
This X-ray is from a griffon vulture. This is the first case that we identified in the 90s here in Spain, and it's an animal that we can see had ingested a bullet, a piece of a bullet used for large game, and also we can also find in this X-ray the distended stomach and even the crop, because it had like a paresis of this upper tract. Digestive tract. We can measure the level of exposure to the lead ammunition in the waterbirds just with the examination of the gizzards or with X-rays, as we have seen here, but it is usually necessary also to detect the levels of lead in the tissues, in the internal tissues of the animal.
We know from American studies that the stop of using lead shot has saved a lot of waterbirds from dying from lead poisoning.
In the case of all the European countries, the mortality by lead poisoning, according to the census of the winter census of all the waterbird species, the mortality is about 1 million of birds. So it's about 8%, 9% of the population, the wintering population.
Well, I think what we need to look at is how to eliminate yet another source of lead pollution in the environment. Ultimately also, since the birds are being hunted in humans and that humans are consuming. Lead is a really problematic chemical and problematic metal because there is no safe level. So the whole point is, it's not about hunting or not hunting. This is about hunting in a way that it's safer for environment and ultimately safer for hunters because, you know, coming from a family where the father was a hunter, I ate a number of the birds that he hunted and still remember as a young man picking out the lead pellets out of them because that's what he used. And clearly it wasn't the most beneficial thing for the health to do. And I can hardly foresee the same thing for my own children. This is yet another risk that the biodiversity is facing, and it's pretty low-hanging fruit to be addressed. So really banning the use of lead pellets shouldn't be such a big deal, especially since safer alternatives are available.
My advice to hunters that face this question of transition from lead ammunition to non-lead ammunition is look at what there has been achieved in other countries and be sure that this is not an attack on hunting. It's more like something that could support the sustainability of hunting on the long term.